This morning, October 5th, in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Ted Cruz traveled out here to the K-Wings Event Center, usually a hockey arena, to hold a town hall type rally.
Third thing I intend to do on the first day in office is instruct the Department of Justice and the IRS and every other federal agency that the persecution of religious liberty and I don't have any kids. No family depends on me. It doesn't matter if I live or I die. But thankfully, God had different plans for my father. He told me over and over again. He said, when we faced oppression in Cuba, I had a place to flee to. If we lose our freedom here, where do we go? That is why all of us are here this morning.
Exactly.
Early in the morning, on October 5th, the doors to Wings Stadium off Sprinkle Road in Kalamazoo opened to the throngs of people excited by a strong conservative message. When I saw that Senator Cruz was coming to town, I knew that it was an experience that I would not be able to miss. After all, it isn't every day a presidential hopeful stops in your town, unless you live in Washington, D.C. We filed into the stadium bleachers lining the east wall of the arena, packing like an armful of groceries in order to make one trip. Crowded to the front, only about 5 yards from where Ted would speak, was where I sat. The man beside me told me that he had driven from northern Michigan up near Petoskey just to hear the senator speak. The area in front of us, on the arena floor, was filled with eager photographers and dutiful videographers. Wendy Day, State Director of Michigan for Cruz, opened the event at 9 a.m. sharp. She welcomed us and told us some exciting news. Heidi Cruz, the senator's wife, was also in attendance today. We heard next from an author who co-authored a book with Glenn Beck, and then from a state representative from the pinky finger of the Michigan hand. The representative introduced Ted, who entered the arena, to a standing, cheering crowd. If you've never heard Ted speak, I highly recommend it. He is a confident, charismatic person and will look you dead in the eye when he promises. He has an odd way of passing the mic from one hand to the other so that he can gesture with the hand that formerly held the microphone. He stood with no podium, no notes, and as close to the arena seating as the press area allowed him to, often mere inches from a photographer in the front row. To be fair, his speech was rehearsed. I heard the campaign promises he'd been giving all along. His 3 first-day promises: defund Obamacare, tear up the Iran deal, and end the persecution of religious liberty. All of those drew an uproar of applause. The number of times the crowd stood to cheer was almost too many to count. I had to do some photographer yoga to take pictures around the ladies in front of me that kept standing and cheering. Once we got past the rehearsed bits, Senator Cruz took a few questions. One that stuck with me was a question about the refugee crisis in the Middle East, to which the senator replied with conviction that our leader must put the American people first. When he had finished speaking, and the standing ovation was in progress, the first place Senator Cruz went was to the edge of the stadium. People crowded at the bottom of the bleachers, reaching out for handshakes and autographs. When he made his way down the line, shaking my hand as he passed, he returned to where he had stood to speak and took pictures with one person after another. As I waited in line to get my picture taken, I saw a few people that I knew. I spoke with my good friend whom I met traveling to D.C. by bus last February. I met the state director for Turning Point USA and the Michigan representative for Leadership Institute, as well as talking with Wendy Day herself. Unfortunately, by the time I had reached Senator Cruz in line, he was slowly being ushered toward the door by his staff. A note to all photographers who also want to meet someone: if you have a large camera, they will assume you are press and don't want a photo with the speaker. Because of this, I only had the chance to take a selfie with the senator as he signed a poster in the background. There was something in the air at that rally, something that I didn't experience at previous rallies. When I saw Mitt Romney in Cleveland during the last election, the crowd was energized, but they weren't inspired. Mitt Romney was a presidential candidate and not a friend. During exit polling, Romney polled higher than Obama in all questions except one. Mitt Romney cares about me. But I didn't feel the same way as I had with Romney. Ted is not some entrepreneur with more money than I could ever dream of. Ted is a down-to-earth, humble guy. Ted inspired this crowd today because, like them, he was concerned with the way our government was going and committed to returning the voice to the people. I'm Alex Ross, and this is the Conservative Reply.